A dream I had and a goal I've been chasing for 17 years now is finally coming to completion today. The reason being is that the last piece of the puzzle of the Ducati World Superbike Homologation set, the last piece I needed to complete the puzzle was this beauty in front of me, which we're collecting today, the Ducati Panigale 1199R. When I turned 16 and I got my motorbike license, the first bike I built out of two scrap bikes, it was a Yamaha DT50. And I took a ride out into the center of Johannesburg where the Ducati importer was. And the day I walked in there, I saw, as I went through the front door on my left, a Ducati 888 SP. Now that was for me back then the holy grail. It was the Ferrari of motorcycles, and that's what inspired me and got me hooked on this brand, Ducati. So I vowed back then that that would be the ultimate for me. I have to chase this dream and make it happen. Now, as I progressed through the years, I've always been riding bike, and about 17 years ago it happened that I first managed to get my first World Superbike homologation Ducati, and that was a 996R of 2001, which Troy Bayliss won the championship in. That's when I really thought about, let's have and build a collection of every single shape that Ducati won the World Superbike Championship in, and if possible, a dominant year when they won rider and constructor championships. So now having this 996R, I had to set out, because in '88 the World Superbike Championship started with the 851, numbers always referring to the CCs. But they really got dominant in Doug Poland's era in 91 and 92, and there was only two in South Africa of the 888 SP4, and I managed to get one of those two. It's number 338 of the 500 produced, a 888 SP4. Now, by that stage, I then had two of the set, a 888 SP4, and in between the 888 and the 996R, there was the 916 era. And again, Carl Fogarty in 94 won in the maiden year, and 95. And for me, the difference, the 916 era before it became a 996 SP was the prettiest. And also the 1995 916 SP is quite special because it's the first of the Ducati bikes that came back from the Cagiva Varese plant back to Ducati Bologna. It also, they only made 401 of those to commemorate that event by building 401 as per the old 750 SS green frame bike. So 7.5 years of chasing, I finally got one of those. It only has 7,000 kilometers on the clocks. And please understand, all these bikes for me, they need to be stock standard original as they left the factory, with all the foot pegs and levers, no aftermarket, even OEM products. It needs to be original. So I managed to get that one. So then I had the 888 SP4, 916 SP, and then the 2001 996R. Then it was the era of the 999, very controversial, not everybody loved it. However, one of the most successful shapes of Ducati, and again in its maiden year, Neil Hodgson went on to win the championship. However, when you look carefully at the homologation bike, it had a silver frame and the banana swing arm. And if you looked at the World Superbike races, they had the bigger rear swing arm and the frame was red. So that was when I realized that the 2004 999R, the homologation bike, was more true to the original racer. And in 2004, it was James Toseland, and I think it was Regis Laconi, his teammate. They won constructors title for Ducati, and James Toseland won the World Superbike title on that. Very interesting story. Our 999R actually also won the South African Bots Battle of the Twins Championship, and then was put back to original, restored 100%. So now we had that set. The next shape that Ducati launched in the World Superbikes was the 1098R, and Troy Bayliss was back, and again, maiden year 1098R, he won the championship. Emphatically, it was also his last year, and such an iconic racer that I looked up to. So that was the bike I had to have. Only 7 came to South Africa, and I managed to get the only one that never raced in South Africa, Battle of the Twins Championship, and it is mint. It only has just over 2,000 kilometers on the clock, and we managed to scrape enough money together, and that's the bike we have in the collection, a 2008 1098R stock standard. Now we had the 888, 916, 999, 1098R, and we were then waiting for Ducati with their latest incarnation, the Panigale 1199R, to come and win the championship. And Chaz Davies got so close a couple of times and just never happened. And then Ducati switched to the V4, and there was no more Panigale R's in the twin configuration motor-wise on the market. There were very few in South Africa, and a lot of them had been molested and changed. So I was getting a little bit despondent because I couldn't get these. And then I had a look at it carefully. If you look at the first evolution, the 2013, 2014 bike wasn't that successful. Cosmetically, it was different with a one-piece back at front. It didn't have the white number board. It had just the two like lightning bolts on the side. And if you look carefully, the successful ones were the 2015 and 2016, when at the end, the last year, when Chaz Davies actually won more races in the season than the championship winner, Johnny Ray. It was just due to Chaz crashing a few too many times and being inconsistent. Otherwise, he would have been world champion. So the most successful bike, if you go according to wins that season, was that Panigale R. So the Panigale is the only shape that never won the World Superbike Championship. However, having the most successful, most winningest bike of that season in the collection would complete the season and would be the dominant bike. So again, never giving up on a dream, keeping chasing. Finally, we're here at World of Motorcycles in Pretoria, and they found me one with just over 1,200 kilometers on the clock. It is, as you can see, mint, virtually original. It was in a collector's private, let's call it collection or museum, and not on the road. It's unmolested. Everything from levers to handlebar ends, screen, everything is as it came. It's even got the VIN number decal on the back, number plate holder on. It is perfect. And now we're collecting her. We managed to twist his arm and get it off him and purchase this bike, taking her home. And now we have the full World Superbike Homologation series, every single shape that Ducati raced the World Superbikes in the collection. Starting 888 SP4, 916 SP, 996R, 999R, 1098R, and now the Panigale 1199R. One step further, I then started collecting the helmets of the champions that won along the way. The Doug Poland one, we airbrushed and got it pretty perfect. Then the Carl Fogarty, we purchased one of those shark helmets, and Carl Fogarty signed that one for us. Then came the 996R. We got the Troy Bayliss Phillip Island helmet, and when Troy Bayliss was in South Africa, he signed that helmet for me. On the 999, I got another helmet signed. The 1098, very iconic yellow helmet that Troy Bayliss had, got that one, got that signed at Vallelunga at his second last race. And then Carlos Checker, we met him at World Ducati Week in 2018, and the helmet he used on the Panigale when he still raced just before the end of his career, we got that helmet, the carbon with the red. He signed that for us, and we even got a helmet Chaz Davies in that season when he won. I think it was 13 races in that one season. However, when we met him at World Ducati Week in 2018, unfortunately, he'd broken his arm and he couldn't sign. But I will show you a photo of Chaz Davies and myself together with that helmet. So in that set, we've got 6 bikes, but we have 8 helmets, and 6 of the 8 helmets are signed. So watch the space. We're still chasing to get the last 2 signed, and hopefully we can exhibit it in our museum one day correctly and appropriately with the correct posters and everything. But in the meantime, please remember to click like and subscribe. Leave us some comments. Let us know, because we'd like to do a review on each and every bike, what makes them special, the wins and some of the history and pedigree of that bike and the evolution along the way. So let us know which bike you want us to start with, and remember to click like and subscribe to see more of these rare beasts.